Hello, welcome to this breathwork video. My name is Allie with A. Marie Speaks, and this video is a part of my breathwork series. This is a bit like a breathing meditation kind of episode and option that I'm sharing here today. Similar to what I've done in my first episode with ocean breath. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the description. You can check that out. I'm going to offer kind of a breathing meditation, what I mean by this, like an active section at the end. Well, we'll do it together. Try it out. But first, just to explain, I don't have a name really for this breath, so I'm kind of struggling through whether I was going to make this video or not. However, I find this kind of breath really helpful, this technique, visualization, and coping mechanism. And so I'm just going with it, and we'll see what happens. This is something we all go through, times where we feel overexcited, overstimulated, oversensitivities, overactivities. Whether it's like a lot of ideas brewing, indecisiveness, whether it's a lot of responsibilities accumulating and kind of procrastination and things, or anything in between. There, spiraling kind of anxiety-ish type of forecasting, thoughts out there kind of things. We get into a lot of over amplified activity that can have a really heightened volume, being very generic here in general, but I want it to be that way, I guess, and it's so excuse me, it's such a valuable tool that I just want to leave open the diverse uses, so people will hear the utilization no matter kind of what they're facing, and to know that this is certainly I didn't bring my water either when I started recording. Oh well. This is certainly something that you can make your own or tailor fit to any type of emotions if you feel like it resonates with that. So basically, I feel like this is like a grounding breath, but also what I do with this breath is sort of ground in my body vessel, seeing myself as a cup and not wanting to spill out the energies that are in the cup. It's sometimes also helpful, or I do it in different ways too, so I'll see it as a bubble kind of, and shrink it down, if that makes sense to people. Other times I will use it to see more of like a gaseous kind of state out there, like of energies, and then I'm pulling it into a small keyhole. The keyhole imagery is inspired by a great friend of mine a long time ago. I like that one as well. So there's these couple of different versions of ways that things might resonate to you, imagery of it. But the basic premise is that we have a lot of substance around us, which is our overextension of our thought energies and our emotional energies, our spiritual energies, all types of it, on the whole spectrum. Seeing it out there in all of these different places, and basically calling it back into you, and having a container set, an idea of the visualization of a shape, of a form, of some sort of vessel, that it is you, and that it is all being sort of called into. in a comfortable way as well. If this is a way that feels not restrictive and pushed and jammed down into something, into a tiny box or space that it doesn't fit, but into a calling home, into a comforting bringing of all the pieces in. And so the extension of time that it takes to do this is varied, and you can do however long it takes. I'm going to also obviously do like a shrunken down version, but I mean, you can spend hours doing it if you like. I find this is a great pre-bedtime thing to do, but I also do this during the day a lot if I have a lot going on. Sometimes I do it in the morning too. If I wake up in one of those gears, like I'm just like ready to go and I have a million things to do, I will do a version of this in my morning meditation. Now, the breath that goes along with it is varied as well. And so this is why I've kind of struggled with naming it a type of breath or having a distinct name or label to teach. And because I think depending on the kind of work and which ones are the emotions, there's a couple of different types of breath that can be helpful. But I would say go with what feels good to you, that aligns with the visualizations that you're calling in, and let your body's knowledge lead the way. For what I'm going to kind of kick off as just a beginner's introduction and a most general state is going to be in through the nose, out through the mouth. Well, in through the nose and out through the nose, and then once in a while using the exhale of the mouth to really release anything that needs to be released. Well, let me correct that, because for me, during this specific breath, actually, it's more of a dropping in, a compression, a fitting of pieces, a locking in. But when I do that release of the exhale, there's also an upright energy that comes in. That's the posture and the connection, the connectivity to the center channel, to source, to one truth, to my essence and being that I lock into with meditation. I think everyone who's familiar with meditation might understand that. Incorporating breath work into the locks is very energizing and difficult to explain in words, so thank you for bearing with me here as well. But there's this kind of upward current and a downwards grounding that you can really breathe into with this breath that I find is such a steadying, stabilizing breath, that going with feeling overexcited, going with feeling overextended, feeling overstimulated in ways, connecting back into sort of the torrido that we are, is very helpful. If you've ever seen my systems series, maybe heard me talk about the torus, our torrido being a 3-part system. There's, in yoga, it's more well known, sort of, and they talk about it a lot more, about this sort of the channel and the upward current and the downward grounding. The torus in itself as well, if you not just see it coming up and down this sort of way, this sort of looping like this, but to see that it's a circumference circle sort of all around you of this upwards and around and downwards, and that within that happenings here within you, right, there's a great collection, I like to call it 0 point sort of center in here, that collects all of the resonance. And that has a direct connection to the center channel, like I said, into this spirit layer, to the connectivity to the one truth, your eternal flame, you know, your gnosis point, the energy that fuels your teredo, basically. And so when we connect to all of that, and really with a good visualization, you know, we can call in that energy into working in a good productivity instead of being overextended, or perhaps even being stifled. And that's more of a generality. Oh my goodness, myself. This is why I sat down to do this meditation, actually, because I was thinking, oh, I'm feeling a little bit like this. Let me do what feels good for me and try to explain it at the same time. But as you can see, I'm incorporating a little too much into one video, maybe. So let's get to the breath and to the visualization. So choosing what you feel works for you. I think I'm going to just give a general lead through it, but as we breathe, right, visualizing that torrido, that center channel, that grounding happenings in this smaller spot, in this vessel, in, you know, at the center of whatever the image is. If you like the cup image, or the keyhole, or the bubble, just see that at the center of that image, even bringing everything into the boundaries of the image, and let the breath create the space. And so basically it's helping us see a created space and a defined outline for ourselves of all of the extensions, and calling them all into it. And like a puzzle, they come together and they sort of fit where they're supposed to be. Don't try to make them go anywhere, but let the breath lead the way. Let me just actually now, before we really get started, make sure this isn't going to do anything. A timeout. Ask me if I'm still there. Who cares, right? So the breath in itself, like I said, in and out, just an easy, good breath, a grounding breath. What feels good to you, in through the nose and out through the nose, and using here and there a little maybe sigh like that, or a little noise like a ha, kind of settle down into it. It might fall into place, you know, with a couple of those breaths. And really trying to sit up straight, really trying to hold that shape with your body as well. Kind of seeing the outline of you being the outline of what shape you've chosen. So that's the key of it. That's sort of the walk up to it. Let's do a little bit of guidance and practice together. Excuse me. So first things first, you would want to get comfortable. You know, I'm sitting here on the floor in a comfortable position for myself. Sit in a way that's comfortable for you, whether it's in a chair or even lying down. You can do this lying down, definitely, especially if you know, you're feeling kind of like jittery, or feeling a little bit when it gets overstimulated within the body, right? A little shaky or a little uneasy in that kind of way. You could totally do this laying down. I'm going to close my eyes while I lead through this, just because it's easier for me to focus and think about what I'm doing with my eyes shut. You probably will find it for yourself nice to close your eyes as well. When you do this on your own, definitely. If you're, you know, relax your gaze, and if you're just listening to the video this time around, that's fine too. You can totally watch me. But I'm going to have my eyes closed, so it's a little awkward. But you can try it out for yourself, listen, give it a go. And then the point of these videos, of course, is this is a teaching modality, and it's meant for you to take it away from the screen at another time, or even a second time, maybe come back with headphones and put the screen down at this point, or fast forward to this point, right? Maybe I'll timestamp it even to this 15-minute point almost, is just the breath work. So you can jump back into it where we're here. So getting comfortable and closing down the eyes, relaxing the gaze, letting go of everything we talked about already, knowing that you have absorbed that knowledge already. So you don't need to think on it. You have too much to think about already. So let's just sit down, take a few conscious breaths, relaxing into the moment, feeling how you feel this moment. Not allowing your mind to be caught running behind the thoughts, taking notes on them, but just seeing them, checking them off. Yes, I see you out there. You feel like this. Yes, you're out there like that. Yes, I hear you. Okay. Accepted. Noticed. Taking your time, breathing at an even current. Just noticing all of the emotions, the sensations. Your fingers to toes, your heart, your throat, your brain, your head, your shoulders, your back. Feel your seat, how you're meeting the ground. Ground into the now. Breathe into the now. Taking a few smooth inhales and remembering, bringing up that image, your vessel, your outline and boundary of you. Taking your time to just breathe and see all around that image, scattered points, static, glittered impressions, sparkled thoughts, fragments of energy, tiny reality bubbles sprinkled with your energy, impressions you've put out there, some other time, some other place, extending away from you, floating out there like stars, like dust motes, whirlwinds and eddies, glistening, sparkling, energy pulsating out there, little fractal pieces of your thoughts and energy, your love and light. Witness them as they are, be it hectic, chaotic. See the dances, see the movement. Breathe into it, remembering that grounded pattern. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Try to sense all around you, 360 degrees. Let your imagination, your mind's eye, travel all the spaces and places of you, of your mindscape, of your reality. All of those places you've extended out pieces of you. See them lighting up with your acknowledgement even, with your breath. On the inhale, it's a little recognition, a little extra sparkle. On the exhale, it's like an ember, coal flickering back. Recognition. Breathing into those points of activity, of gnosis, of energy. Letting them know you see them. On that exhale, that grounding, embers residing inside, that center point, calling those bits home. See on the inhale, the riding towards, the bringing in now, magnetically, electrically, they are drawn inwards, pulling down into that vortex, that inner core. Exhale, relaxing, release, calling downwards, locking in. The inhale, you can feel those places in the expanse lighting up and being drawn inwards. All that is of you, for you, by you, knows its place, knows its home, and is drawn into recognition, into wholeness, remembering it's a piece of this puzzle, this shape, this whole. Drawing it in, seeing it almost halfway full now. Feeling it filling up, creating a deeper gradient, firmer image within that cup, that bubble, that keyhole. Feeling these last breaths, really using them to bring in the filling up, 3/4 of a way now. That image becoming even more clear, your outline becoming more solid. Feeling those last bits out there, seeing clarity, clearness, residing outside that beautiful image of you. Feeling up through the tippity top, crown. Oh, the cup is full, the bubble is complete. Seeing that outline of that keyhole, that perfect shape, at your comfortable space, locking it in, knowing that you're free to extend at any point. We porously share naturally. But this state of wholeness, this comfortability, is our natural state of perfection, our intended homeostasis, a secure, supported state of abundant, secure, and positive neutrality. Feeling ready and full to serve. Knowing the contents. Feeling the love and the light of the container. All that fills it is so freely shared. It's everywhere. And in fact, it's still out there in those places, offering out love in those beautiful reality spaces. Reverberating out your gnosis of strength, of connectivity, of purpose. We're locked in a beautiful dance, in a paradox, in a state of being and doing, in wholeness and separation, in oneness and individual expression, the individual and the collective. Our boundaries are important. They are beautiful. They have great purpose. Remember that each time you remember yours and honor yours in a practice like this. Make sure you always seal the practice and give an honoring to yourself before you prepare to open, your eyes. Breathing into the world around you in a comfortable way. You can extend this practice and allow yourself to visualize that if you have the time. I will call us back to attention to the here and now. Feel your fingers and toes, open your eyes. If you were fully embodying that practice, I thank you for joining me for that. There's many ways we could take that and extensions, but that's just the beginning. That's just a taste of a general practice of it. I will leave it there for now because I like to try to keep these videos short. This one's gone a little longer than intended, but that's okay. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you look forward to seeing more breathwork videos from me in the future. If you're looking for anything else, you can always find me directly on my website, amariespeaks.com, or over on Telegram, YouTube, and BitChute under AMarieSpeaks. So have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world. Thank you for your contribution to our collective. Thanks for witnessing mine, and I'll see you next time.